Hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the programme. And we're now inside the history part of KILMAINHam Hospital, and gives you the early history there. And I'm not sure how to pronounce that monastery. I'll zoom up and let you see it. But it says the story of this historic site goes back more than 1400 years to 606 AD, when a Christian monastery existed here, founded by St. whoever that is, a bishop renowned for his piety. The monastery gave KILMAINHam its original Irish name, Sil, meaning his church. The church most likely stood in the far west part of the current site, close to where Bully's Acre is today. So there's a Viking raid on a monastery. A poor wee priest. It looks like his days are numbered. And it says Vikings at KILMAINHam. When Viking invaders took control of Dublin in the mid-9th century, the Christian monks had to abandon their monastery at KILMAINHam. Pagan Viking burials dating to this period were discovered at the site in the 1800s. Items including weapons, farming implements and craft objects were found with these burials, indicating that it may have been an established settlement before the Vikings were expelled from Dublin in 902. There's a Viking ship, and it says it was common for Vikings to bury their dead in existing Christian graveyards. It appears that the Vikings of KILMAINHam inserted their cemetery into an older native burial ground, probably part of the early monastic site. And there's an example of an early Christian building. And it says here, Strongbow and the Knights Hospitallers. Can you say that? After the Norman invasion of Ireland in 1169, Richard de Clare, Earl of Pembroke, who from his skill in archery was known as Strongbow, became Lord of Leinster. In 1174, he granted land to the Knights Hospitallers of St. John of Jerusalem for the construction of a priory at KILMAINHam. These bearded knights wore coats of chain mail and a white cloak emblazoned with a red cross. Their main role was looking after pilgrims and the poor. Occasionally, these Anglo-Norman warriors also fought the native Irish. The priory buildings lay to the west of the buildings you can see today, and probably consisted of several quadrangles, towers, an inner castle or fort, and the chapel of St. John. The Hospitallers remained at this site until about 1540, when their priories and estates were taken over by the Crown during the Reformation of King Henry VIII. So that's a Knights Hospitaller, I think is how you pronounce it. And then this one here is vice-regal occupation in the Phoenix Park. It says, once in the possession of the Crown, the lands and prairie, known then as the Castle of KILMAINHam, were used occasionally as a residence and court for the Viceroy of Ireland. From the 1560s, however, Dublin Castle was increasingly favoured for state functions, and KILMAINHam fell into disuse and disrepair. When Phoenix House and its surrounding lands were purchased as the official residence of the Viceroy in 1618, the already decrepit priory fell into total ruin. By the time the Duke of Ormond formed the Phoenix Park in 1662, which initially included the site at KILMAINHam, there was little left of the priory except the walls of the chapel of St. John. So it says our priory is a monastery of men or women under religious vows that is headed by a prior or a prioress. So there you go. It says there at the top, 2 artefacts from the time of the monastery have been discovered. An 8th century silver brooch and a bell, 12 inches tall, dated 9th to the 12th century. Both are now in the National Museum of Ireland. So there you go, folks. So that's a Knight Hospitaller. Getting good at that now, aren't you? Thanks for watching, and God bless.